This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pitstop, where you guys, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. And before we even get to sim racing news, let's get a few congratulations out of the way. Number one, I'm going to congratulate Boston Red Sox and the Boston Red Sox fans throughout the world because they beat up the mighty Dodgers 4-1 and won themselves, I think, their 8th or 9th world championship. Congratulations to them. It was a cool series. The Dodgers got their asses kicked, but it was fun nonetheless. You can't knock the Dodger fan out of me, though, so it doesn't matter. Lose or not, I've lived in LA 35 of my 50 years on planet Earth, so I'm a Dodger fan. I'm also a Rams fan. They went 8-0 yesterday, so all you LA haters are going to have to deal with the Rams now that the Dodgers have been knocked out of things. Other congratulations that are certainly deserved. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of this, what's his name? Lewis Hamilton, that's his name. I think that guy won some sort of champion, like his 5th championship or something like that. So congratulations to him as well. Not really sim racing related, but certainly it was a big weekend in the world of sports, motorsports, and regular sports as well. Anyway, so that is what is going on outside of the show. Now let's get into the world of sim racing. And you know, I swear I could just turn this into an eSports show. I'm not sure I'd be that entertained myself, to be honest with you. So I think as eSport continues to grow and take up more of the news market share, we might have to just kind of start blowing through some of the eSports stuff. And then if you're like a big fan of that thread, that series, that racing group, that sim, you might go find it for yourself. But anyway, first things first, let's start off with Forza. Today at 3 o'clock, they're going to have a mixer. This is coming directly from SEMA, the North America Automotive. I'm not even special. I can't even remember what SEMA actually stands for. But in a nutshell, it's the aftermarket products trade show, which makes it pretty much the biggest trade show on earth. Every time I go to SEMA, I'm like, this has to be the biggest. It's bigger than CES, it seems. Anyway, they're going to be there streaming with the Hoonigans. You know those guys, whether you're talking I'm a little confused, to be honest with you, on the word Hoonigans. You've got Hoonigan, the name coined by Ken Brock, and then you also got the Hoonigan group, which we're going to talk about as well. But anyway, there is a live stream going on from SEMA today at 3. They're calling it another one of their mixers. It's going to be a watch mixer at Forza Motorsport. In addition to that, they had some Gymkhana type video that came out using the custom route creator. Good morning, Devin. How you doing? Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to everybody. Monday. Nobody likes Monday. I get excited on Wednesdays. I get excited on Fridays. I'm always excited on Monday because I usually have a pretty good weekend and we usually have a lot. Special Equipment Manufacturers Association. Thank you, Brandon. Special Equipment Manufacturers Association, SEMA. You would think, or specialty, you would think I would know that. I've only worked that trade show like 5 times out of the last 10 years. Also, yesterday they did do another one of their weekend review. They're talking about the Route Creator. They're talking about the Road Championship, World Championship that went on. Forza Horizon 4 with the special events and all the seasonal events that they have. All that kind of stuff. So if you missed that news over the last week or so, you will find that at the ForzaMotorsport.net under their news section for their weekly blog that they're doing. I love that truck. I'm just going to say it again. I'm just noticing other little details like the side pipes coming out behind the front wheels. I always like the look of the dual turbochargers sticking out of the hood on any kind of car, to be honest with you. What else? Okay, so a few things. Like I said, eSport, it's everywhere. So we had the Madrid regional finals that went on, and they got a video. This said GT Sports, a Gran Turismo. Seems a fun way to kill a week. I don't know. I gotta tell you, SEMA is a nightmare from the working it perspective. It's such a massive show. It's so hard to get around, and if you're working a booth and you get your hour lunch, unless you're gonna not eat, it's hard to see much of SEMA. Mr. Thawman, absolutely. eSport is a side of sim racing, but I look at it sort of like same thing in the automotive world. You have car shows that embrace the entire automotive culture, and then you have shows that focus on the racing. Because, I mean, we could spend all day long just saying, you know, Joe Blow won this race, and you know, John Smith won that race, and it could go on and on and on. So, I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. I mean, I know the show's going long. I want to make the show interesting and fun for everybody, so it means that we cover what we want to talk about, what we want to hear about, not just everything, anything and everything. But I agree, it's totally a big, huge part of sim racing. But anyway, Gran Turismo posted also, nothing was left out of the track, showing off some of the highlights of the European finals that went on last week. Oh, there's that Lewis Hamilton guy. And that's all we got out of Gran Turismo. That is not all we have out of Gran Turismo. In addition, their news page, 3 new posts that just went up. Number 1, opening of the FIA Gran Turismo Championships, the 2018 Exhibition Series Season 3. So all the details of the events, when they're going to happen, what car, what track, what the conditions are for Season 3 in the Nations Cup is what we're looking at here. Then we've also, scrolling down, we've also got the Manufacturer Series. So you got that page now open. Also, Exhibition Series Season 2, Victory Bonus Notice. So if you got a victory bonus from last season, looks like... anyway, you're going to get 200,000 credits and 5,000 mileage points if you were part of the winning team. Hey, Dan. Everybody welcoming Dan to the show. What else we got? FIA Gran Turismo Championship 2018 Exhibition Series results. So these are the final results telling you who's going to be winning off those points. So all that came out of Gran Turismo over the weekend. Lots going on there. Dirt, talking about a few things. Codemaster's talking a few things about Dirt. Number 1, if you want to know everything that they've released so far, they have a direct link. So this is at the Codemasters page. Direct link, Dirt Rally 2.0 YouTube. And if you go to that page, you're actually going to see a playlist of 8 different videos, which is everything from the announcement trailer all the way to the second round of the Dev Insight series. And that gives you a pretty full spectrum of everything going on in the world of Dirt released by them. In addition, 5 hours ago, they posted this very, very cool picture of a Porsche 911 RGT Rally Spec. I didn't even know they still rallied Porsches like that. Last time I thought of a Porsche in a rally circumstance, honestly, would have been like the roof, the original roof with the weird flat tail. But, you know, again, rally isn't super huge. I don't follow rally as much as I'd like to. If it was easy to follow rally here in the States, I would. It's one of my favorite disciplines of motorsport, but it's not covered all that well. No, we have not. I mentioned that on Friday. I'm not sure when our daylight savings change is, but I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying it right now, because as you guys probably know, I don't sleep very well, and right now it's so dark in the morning that I'm sleeping in. I slept till 7 this morning, which is like a world record for me. Anyway, did you guys know they ran this Porsche? Did you know they ran a modern Porsche as a rally car still? Kind of caught me a little off guard. What else? iRacing has a remix of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze series from Homestead, Miami. The one that led to Ray Alfala capturing his 4th championship. So if you want to see that, you'll find that on YouTube under Homestead Remix, or you can find it directly at the iRacing Twitter page. In addition to that, they have a picture here of the practice beginning for the VRS Showdown. Anyone know where this is? This is obviously a trade show. Is this Paris Games Week? Where are we that VRS is doing the VRS Showdown? In addition to that, at Martinsville was Zach Novak being recognized with his championship title. He was the Ignite Series driver. That was the young driver competition, if I'm not mistaken. But there is Zach Novak there at Martinsville. Oh, look at that. That's not his trophy, by the way. That's the official Martinsville trophy. And, but yeah, there he is getting recognized for his championship and everything that NASCAR is doing to promote racing to younger audience. Jamie learned something. Oh, about daylight savings time. Gotcha. Saturday in Ontario. Ours has got to be coming up. Sunday, November 4th. Okay, there you go. Doug Hawley, thank you. So this coming Sunday will be our time change day. And then we'll be all back on the same schedule. Nuno Pinto. Sorry. Nuno Pinto won the official McLaren Shadow R-Factor competition. So congratulations to R-Factor 2 winner of the McLaren Shadow competition after 4 grueling rounds and the grand finale, which I didn't get a chance to watch this weekend. Your winner is Nuno Pinto. Nuno will be traveling to the McLaren Shadow final in January. Wish him luck. So that'll be our R-Factor entry. That's one cool thing I like about the Shadow entry is maybe not all the entry points are equal, but in the end, we do put our champions, or at least the best of the best from multi-disciplines, all into one basket to pick a winner. I like that. Kind of reminds me of like whatchamacallit? You know, the Race of Champions type of stuff. Anyway, and then they promoted over the weekend, obviously, when the race was actually happening, or the race between the top 30. And I'm sure if you look, you'll be able to find that on YouTube. I don't have a link right here, but I know that went on, and I did not get a chance. It was all football, baseball, and work for me. What else? Okay, so the A1 ESport Finals happened last week, so we have some videos coming out from Project Cars showing off. I mean, this is a big deal. I know it was only the Austrian, or from Austria, but it was a big deal, and, you know, that is a breeding ground for great drivers. So anyway, they have some photos of the event going on. Yorkie Guy, they're replaying episode 3. Cool pictures of their simulator with the curved, look at that, the Samsung Super Ultra Wide here at the Project Cars booth. This is at Paris Games Week where the competition went on. But anyway, lots of cool photos. I like looking at trade show photos because I kind of look at it through the eyes of this is how sim racing is being presented to the masses. When a general gamer goes into a Paris Games Week, you know, maybe they went there to go play Goat Simulator, I don't know. But when they see sim racing and its glory, sim racing and all the beauty, all the flair that these booths will throw at it, I think it puts it in its best light. But this is all from the Logitech booth there at Paris Games Week, where they're working with their Project Cars and their whole G Champion finale. And more pictures until we finally get at the end. Christian Kwitsnewski has taken victory in the Logitech G Challenge and won a semifinal place at the McLaren Shadow. So here we have our P-Cars champion that will be in the McLaren Shadow. We had just talked about our R-Factor champion who's going to be. So we're going to see Nuno Pinto versus Christian Knutski. Sorry about murdering your name there, buddy. But yeah, that's what's going on. I mean, this is like eSport Championship weekend. I got to tell you that. Turn that damn wheel off. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Someone had a fresh coat of paint. I am totally missing something in the chat. Getting a restraining order. I am so lost by you guys right now. I'll just keep moving along. Maybe that conversation isn't for me. Also, just 24 hours left to qualify for the multiplayer racers of the eSport FIA WTCR round of China. Still looking for the extra 10th? The champ, Borkum, Thed Bork, shows you the way around Shanghai in the WTCR car. So if this is a competition that you want to move up on the leaderboard, well, you just might want to watch this guy. Sorry, I got distracted by the audio, and I probably don't have it on for you guys. If I'm going to do that, I should at least turn it on so you can hear it. But there you go. That's him showing you the way, telling you the way around that circuit, so maybe you can get higher up on the leaderboard, maybe even qualify for that event, which would be kind of cool. Live for Speed showing more life. This is such great news. Every time they do anything, it's for you too, Sean. You can check your bushes too. I'm not sure what you mean there. Anyway, Live for Speed showing a little more sign of life. I mean, can you imagine if Live for Speed came back into the limelight? If Live for Speed got it back together, that would really change sim racing right now. They would be one of those, we talk sim pizza and taking a little piece of every sim and how that motivates and pushes the other developers. Live for Speed could really help push the other developers, and I would love to play a modern version of Live for Speed. So what they're talking about is a graphics progress report for the track Aston. So anyway, a bunch of pictures showing it off, showing, probably for those who really know the sim, it's probably showing off little things too that you wouldn't expect, like highlights or lighting effects and things like that. So yeah, a few different ways you can find that. You can find it at their Twitter page, Live for Speed. You can also find it at Live for Speed. Believe it or not, Live for Speed still does have Living Dead for Speed. This is at www.lfs.net, which has been their website for all of eternity, if I'm not mistaken. It's okay, Dan. We're all carried away. It's a Monday. Everybody's in a head cloud on a Monday. Whoa, shit. Excuse me. Thrustmaster also showing off Paris Games Week. I'm not going to dwell on this very long. Not a lot to see. But what you have is a walk up to their booth. And this is at the Thrustmaster official Twitter page. And you can find this cool video showing the sim pods, their little check-in booth, and then another row of pods over here. Pretty big booth that Thrustmaster seemed to have at Paris Games Week. In addition to that, they're showing off the TX3 drivers. So TX3 2 there and TX3 VD by. Okay. Those two drivers came by the booth and had a little showdown. Oh, they're wearing those new Ferrari headsets. I got one of those on the way here. Obviously, Thrustmaster also showing off their flight gear. They had the French, can't remember their flying, not the French Blue Angels, we'll call them. Anyway, showing off the TGT wheel and those old Gran Turismo pods that we've seen all over. There's our two TX3 drivers. That's Hornet and... Wait. I can't read French, so I don't know who's who. But there you go. Some of the TX3 guys who came by there. And then it was a big day as the Russian team won their War Thunder competition. You see him going home with a HOTAS stick. And that's pretty much it from Thrustmaster at Paris Games Week. All right. I still just can't figure out what the hell they're doing and why and how and... Why are they doing all these weird auctions? I don't get it. I Live for Speed Redemption 2. Oh. Anyway, the Podium Wheelbase auction for Australia is happening October 30th. That is tomorrow. So this is the starting price, $1 Australian to get in on the bidding. And if you want to try to pick one up cheap, you can do that. But... anyway, this whole auction thing kind of still makes me a little confused. I'm not sure the whole point of doing that. But okay, Fnatic can do what Fnatic wants to do. That's fine. I'm excited for the podium. I'd like to just straight up buy one, have one sent. I don't necessarily need all this auction business. Just finish the wheels. And why are they doing all the auctions region by region, I guess, is where the confusion for me goes. It's like, why don't you just do it? You're making it far too complicated. I can't keep track of dates like that. But luckily, you have me, so I'll keep track of those dates for you. In addition to that, what else? This is at the Logitech site, so obviously a big weekend for them. Here's a care package that was sent to Matthew Trivet, one of their competitors, with a shirt, jersey, hat, headphones, everything he needs. Showing some of the guys. A lot of this is regular gaming. It's not even sim racing. But they do show off some of the stuff going on at the Project Cars booth there. They also showing some VR action. All this going on. Battlegrounds. More guys racing in the Project Cars event from the Logitech squad. What else? What else? Just... more of the same. Just a little recap on. There's more of the same types of shots from the Logitech booth. Just more coming off of Paris Games Week. There's, again, Christian Kanutsky who won that event. Oh, there we get to see his trophy. That's a cool trophy. That's a reasonably sized, actually put it on your shelf type trophy right there. But congrats once again for him winning the European G Challenge. They wanted to do Australia as a test bed before they opened it up to the EU and US auctions. Okay, I accept that. Sure. Do we know when the other auctions are? I don't. Ritmotech, I've been showing off their MPI, Max Pappas Industries wheels, and this is that really cool one that I like that had their own sandwich plate, I like to call it, but their own sandwich box there, and with the magnetic metal paddle shifters. Also, something I spied in this is, aren't those some Ritmotech inverted pedals? I didn't know they had inverted pedals. I think what that is actually they inverted their own pedals on the APX chassis, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this is the Prestige Import Simulator that they're running right there. What else? Okay, McLaren also talking about, big shocker, McLaren also talking about the Logitech thing. So a lot of the same photos, by the way, all of it from the same event. This is just, again, huge. Oh, that's, yeah, that's pretty funny. Australia for the auction. Austria for the A1 ESport competition. MotoGP, another video for them on their ESport Championship semifinal number 2, where to watch. I've already told you the dates on that stuff going on, but we are getting closer. Looks like not giving me a date. They're giving me a time, but not a date. I'd have to go back a few shows. We had the full calendar. I don't know why they're making a big deal out of doing it there. Anyway, maybe perhaps here in the live in 25 hours. There you go. That's pretty confirmed right there. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., 25 hours from now, is when semifinal number 2 will air at the MotoGP eSport channel. It looks like this is set up to go on YouTube. Yes, it is, in fact. So watch the live MotoGP eSport Championship semifinal number 2. Full Throttle, just another write-up on G2 Liège, crowned the 2018 Forza Racing World Championship. We've talked about that, but when I see more articles, more information, you know, I like hearing what some of the competitors have to say about things, whether it be how hard was the competition, or how did the event play out? Was it good or bad? And things like that. So anyway, you'll find that at fullthrottlemedia.co.uk. What else? Okay, so Hoonigans. Is Hoonigans Ken Brock? Is Hoonigans this show? Is it all in one and the same? Let me skip the ad, but what we're looking at is the Yard Party Inception. Remember those rigs? Remember those ridiculous, they call them the best simulators? But they drift the donut garage in a video game. So they had what they are calling their Yard Party Inception with their 2 rigs going head to head. Anyway, kind of a cool video that if you want to watch. Max! I know, they're ridiculous rigs. They're over the top and they're not even like functional as far as what looks cool about them. But you can find that. In addition, Road to VR, talking about the hands-on haptics VR glove is the closest I've come to touching the virtual world. So look at this gnarly, crazy glove. Giant glove. Little data connectors running to each finger. Giant fingertips on that thing. It'd be pretty hard to sim race with that. I know I want to see my hands when I'm sim racing in VR. But, man, I can't race in that glove. Obviously, that's a prototype, but it could be what we're looking at in the future of VR. And curing some of the complaints, honestly, some of the fair complaints about VR is that you're trapped or knocked off from the regular world. Things I've asked for was some sort of augmented ability to see things, maybe map where my controls and show them, even if it's virtual. Maybe a pass-through button where I press a button and it lets a certain percentage of my real world pass through and be seen through the screen. But anyway, a VR glove could be one of the game changers. It'll be a while till they can scale that down to the point of being able to use it for sim racing. Yeah, I agree, Devin. When they refine it, but it'll take a little while. It looks like they're a little ways off in terms of that. I don't even want to say a word. I don't even know where this was. Brandon posted this. This is something from R-Seat Russia. And you can see an R-Seat there. If you look really carefully in this picture, you'll see an R-Seat Formula chassis on a D-Box actuator. It is hard to see, though, because this picture, Anyway, I was impressed with the picture from our seat, and I thank you, Brandon, for posting that, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Acedo Corsa, I know we talk about Competizione all the time till we're blue in the face. It is the latest, greatest from the guys at Kunos. But Acedo is still out there. Acedo is still awesome, and there's an incredible amount of mods for it. If you've not tried it, believe it or not, for the next 24 hours, you can actually buy Acedo Corsa on Steam for $11.99. You can get the Season Pass for $6.45. You can get the Ultimate Edition. This is every pack they've made for $23.88. Oh, you guys, still more questions? This is in Russia, it says. All the writing is in Russia, so I don't even know. Is she Russian? I'm Russian. Russian over there to meet her. What else? VVV talking about Arcade Racer Rise. Race the Future releases on Steam on November 1st. So, anyway, some kind of gamey type racer game out there on Steam. We see a lot of these right now. I'm seeing so many of these that I don't even know which one's which, and I'm not sure it really matters to me. If I'm going to play a gamey game, I don't think this is the one. No offense. No offense to them, but there you go. That's at Team VVV if you're interested. What else? Brandon, thank you for your contribution. I appreciate it. Yes, Jamie, it was hard to see. Let me go back so you can try to look. Wait, where is it? Every time I look, I have to, like, really concentrate to see the simulator. Man, is this the most sexist, horrible thing I've ever done on the Simpit? I'm just dwelling on a photo for some reason. Yes, that's the other funny thing. Look at the guy in the rig, by the way. Now let's take this seriously. The guy in the rig has a VR unit in his hand, and he is rubbernecking the heck out of that rig right now. Could care less about what he's doing on track or that R seat, I can tell you that. Anyway, there you go. There you go. Okay, so where were we? Xbox Hub, we talked about this one already. We talked about the DLC liveries for Ride 3 season, but here's a full write-up on Xbox Hub talking about the trailer, special editions, season pass, and free DLC plans revealed for Ride 3. There's a cool light up on the roof, too. You mean that light? I missed that. That's someone's daughter. Someone let their daughter wear that skin-tight suit and those 6-inch heels to a trade show. So, yep, it is someone's daughter, but it's not my daughter. So Ride 3 is also going to have customization and things like that coming to it, so that could be cool. What else? What else we got to talk about? Another True Achievements, talking about another game racer, but Super Street. I think we've mentioned that on the show a handful of times, but they have a write-up here on the update. Addresses controls. You can actually use controls in Super Street. That's kind of cool. Or potentially could be cool. And physics and more. Only holding a 2-star rating from true users, earning 1.5 stars in our official review and averaging 27 of 100 on OpenCritic. So the world is not loving Super Street, the game. There's a big shocker. But it's not my daughter. All right, what else, guys and girls? People. What else, people? Dark Side of Gaming, talking about that new remastered Natural Vision for Grand Theft Auto 5. It is now available for download. You know, this title, boy, is there any title that gets more, like, just monster changes to it over time than the Grand Theft series? But again, we saw some of this a while back when they were teasing it, and I guess there is a remastered mod, Natural Vision, for Grand Theft Auto. You might want to check that out. I haven't fired that one up, and now we're at Red Dead Redemption. I haven't got it yet. I almost went to Best Buy over the weekend and picked it up, and then I'm like, I have so much work to do, so I didn't. So I'm holding out still, but Grand Theft Auto, if it weren't for Red Dead, I'd probably fire that up again. You guys remember my last show with that. True Achievements also talking about the Dev Diary. We talked about this last week. Dirt Rally 2 explaining why the game was made now. You can read that. They're talking about GameIdealist, talking about 36% off of Logic 29, G29, Thrustmaster T300, and Thrustmaster TGT racing wheels. So you can actually get a TGT for 30% off, a T300 for 18% off, and a G29 for 36% off, and this is going on at Amazon, supposedly. Supposedly, you're going to have to verify yourself, but here I'm seeing the actual links, but that means a TGT, PlayStation 4 compatible or PC. It's actually a really good wheel from Thrustmaster, $563. It's not cheap. T300, which for $329 is a heck of a wheel. And as much as people will trash talk the G29 for $257, that's a pretty reliable wheel. I can't argue with that. Best Buy, go digital. Yeah, why, Todd? Just out of curiosity. I support Best Buy. A lot of people hate them, but my fear in life is that someday the brick and mortar won't be there. So when I want something at 9 o'clock and I need it now, that I won't be able to run down to Best Buy, I'll be stuck with waiting on Amazon. So unless Amazon is going to give me a better price, I like to buy it from the stores that I need to be around. I mean, I just bought a new bicycle. I'll give you an example. I bought a new bicycle, and I'll admit I got a great deal online. I bought it for about 1/3 of its actual retail value. And then when I got it, I thought, well, I need a helmet, I need shoes, I need pedals, I need all these other things. It ends up being another $600-700 worth of stuff. And I could have absolutely, I'm going to, Dave, and absolutely I could get a better deal online. But I thought, yeah, but someday I'm going to need a tube on a Friday night, and I can't get that online. I need my local shop to exist. So I actually went and paid more than I know I could have. I could have got it cheaper for sure, but I went to my local bike shop and I bought all that other stuff just to make sure that I'm giving them some business and love as well. Just my take. I mean, it's not a big deal what you do, how you choose to do it. But yeah, when I can, I'll go down there. Yeah, it's empty at Best Buy. I get in and out of Best Buy in like 30 seconds. It's right around the corner from me, and they always have a parking spot for online orders. So I'll order it online, get verification that it's ready to be picked up, and then go grab it myself. I already told you about this, but here's the iRacing official write-up on Mitchell de Jong winning his inaugural iRacing Rallycross World Championship. Also finishing second in the Road World Championship. Also finishing third in the Team Road Championship. So quite a year for Mitchell de Jong. Maybe one of the best years for anybody in all of sim racing, to be honest with you. Wins 10 grand for that. Wins a few grand for the other. A few grand for the other. Not bad. Yeah, at Best Buy, the G29 is still $400. So Darius, in that case, I would absolutely buy it on Amazon. No brainer for me on that. Davey asked if the TGT have a better mechanism than the TSPC. I believe the main motor and the main gearbox is almost identical. The big difference is there's a transducer or vibration motor also on the TGT. So games that can activate it, you can get some rumble effects. It's like having a mini butt kicker inside of the wheel. I think that's primarily the biggest difference between the two bases. The TGT also still has the dials, so there's a few more buttons and options on the wheel. So there are some other differences between. Also, the TGT, I believe they come with the same pedal set, if I'm not mistaken. Or wait, the TSPC can come without pedals, but the TGT comes with a special set of pedals that are no better. They just look nicer. Yeah, Devin, it only works in that if I'm not mistaken. I agree with you. I'm just sort of waiting and wondering when and if there's a legal reason that nobody else is activating it, or maybe there just hasn't been enough demand. You know, it probably is nothing more than enough TGT owners sending an email to the various manufacturers saying, hey, are you going to support this feature of my wheel? So, there you go. What else? SimRacer.es talking about second-hand professional simulators. Never even thought about this, but I'll take my take on this. But, you know, if they do a sim center and it closes, they're going to offload all those sims. if they do a big esport competition and it's a one-off event, you might find that they're going to offload those sims. So wherever you are in the world, you might find that there are ways to get a full-blown pro-grade simulator a little cheaper than full retail, but it's going to take some work and hunting down and some phone calls. But anyway, what they're talking about in particular here at this article, after 2 years of its opening, the Madrid Sim Center Par Excellence, V Racing, is going to renew its simulators. So in this case, they're not closing, they're just upgrading. And they're going to actually be selling off the simulators that are in there now. So if you want to, you can actually... is that somebody telling me I'm doing something wrong? Nope, just another political, stupid friggin' thing. I already voted. You can stop. I already voted. Anyway, but you can get their Ultimate V Racing chassis for €49.95. The V Racing Advance for €44.95. They got, look at that, that's sim racing hardware dash fully up there on a profile rig. Anyway, it could be a good deal. The V Racing GT is down at $21.95. So you might want to contact Madrid. You might want to contact Madrid Sim Center Par Excellence, V Racing. Why go to Best Buy when Amazon does next day or same place, same day delivery? Amir, now I am going to get political. I don't need, Amazon doesn't need any help from me at getting bigger and taking over the entire world. Amazon, next day is next day. I like Best Buy. I like being able to, I like walking into a store and being able to look at the microphone and decide, is this cheap or is this good? If I just order it online, I don't know. Now, in the case of a G29, I know what it is long in advance. I don't necessarily need to look and touch and feel it. But I like, and I miss, you know, and maybe you guys aren't as old as I am, but like, if I can't go down and buy a t-shirt or a pair of pants and I'm only left with the online world, what are the odds of me buying clothes that fit? I like walking in a store. I like touching, feeling, seeing, knowing that the box is in good shape, being happy with, and walking out with my product. So that's all I'm going to say. And then beyond that, I don't think Amazon needs any help from me whatsoever. But a deal's a deal. I'm not going to argue a deal for the most part. Like I said, I didn't get it through Amazon, but I bought my bike online. I would have preferred walking into a store, but honestly, my bike would have cost me $3,000 in a store, and I paid $1,200 for it. That was hard to turn my back on. In the case of the helmet, maybe a $100 helmet I could have gotten for $80 and saved $20. 20% is a big deal, but not quite the same. You love Best Buy, but you only buy games digitally. How come, Todd? Just wondering. Just out of curiosity. SimRace blog, hardware news tests. Also, I had heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the disc version of Red Dead, you could play from the disc. It didn't even have to install, which means theoretically I could be playing in minutes. It might even be faster when you consider the distance between me and Best Buy. All right, what else? The new T105 Motion and P5MP platform at ProSimU. And that's just showing off another company making another variation of a motion sim. Looks like a gigantic D-Box kind of a setup from me. Never heard of these guys, but this is the P5MP and the T100 chassis, which will work with anything else. So it's actually a platform type thing, which means you could literally just take a play seat, R seat, you know, Visaro, you know, anything, and throw it next level. Throw it right on top, and you've got a working motion simulator. Easy travel, just take up room in a truck. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, I understand. I don't think that's a D-Box. I don't think that's a D-Box. Yeah, Dan, they could send you the wrong thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, to each his own. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I just like brick and mortar. I like walking into a store, grabbing my box, going up to the counter, paying for it, driving home, stopping at a stoplight and trying to open it up and grab the instruction manual because I can't wait to get home. Sitting and waiting on the mail service is not as fun for me. Like sitting there waiting, and every time I hear a knock, hoping it's my item I'm waiting on. Yeah, I prefer to walk in and grab it when I can. Road to VR talking about Steam VR. The new Valve data gives fresh insight to the number of VR headset used on Steam. So you VR buffs, you can go find out that. Here are the numbers. Oculus Rift 306,000, HTC Vive 274. So pretty close between the two bigs in the VR world, with Windows Mixed Reality only occupying 47,000. So that's a combination of a whole bunch of different Windows Mixed Reality VR units. But Oculus really having the market share, just slight edge over HTC Vive. This was the World Endurance E-Racing World Championships, the GTR 24H. Anybody get a chance to watch it? Oh, there's Jimmy. There's Jimmy right up there on the stage doing the announcing. So you can see this is quite a big setup. SimLab was one of their sponsors, a row of trophies and all that. Quite a production for a in-person 24-hour race, which is pretty cool. And beyond that, the last thing I have to talk about, you know, only 41 minutes into a show. I thought we had a slow news day, but last week I actually had a really great interview. It wasn't me. I was being interviewed by Davey Jones of Sim Racing Perspectives, a podcast on YouTube. And we sat down for what turned into an hour-and-a-half long interview, just talking about sim racing, talking about me and my background getting into the shop, into the show, and how I got into this. Talking about the good old days, talking about things to come. So it was a fun interview. Davey's a great guy, and he's a good interviewer, and it was fun for me being on the other side of the microphone for a change. And instead of me having to be the one thinking of the questions and running things, I got to just kick back and just answer questions. So it was a fun time. If you want to hear that, it is a podcast. There's nothing to see. It would be hearing it. You will find that at Davey Jones on YouTube, or Sim Racing Perspectives Podcast Episode 13. Audio only, Sean Cole from the Simpit, that being me. So that is going to do it. I hope this show made your Monday a little brighter, a little better. Congratulations one more time to all you Red Sox fans, because it was, just so you know, you put me through hell. It was, and I'm honestly, I'm glad it's over, because I lost way too much time. 18-inning games up till 12:30 in the morning, just watching baseball. Anyway, and I will finish with, go Rams! No. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for being part of the pit crew. Thank you for being here each and every day just to talk about sim racing. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.
You